Crypto people, what is going on, crypto people? Listen, this is cray cray in the streets right now. It's cray cray in the freaking streets now. Listen, MicroStrategy turned Bitcoin into a corporate rocket fuel. Now Nasdaq listed firms are gearing up to do the same thing with XRP. Tonight we break down the filings, the leverage loop, and exactly how a single treasury move can send XRP to valuations most people think are impossible. Grab your notebook. This could be the new retail meta. So listen, not financial advice. I'm just going to hang out. We're going to hang out tonight. I'm going to share my thoughts on what's going on in the marketplace, what I feel like is the new retail meta, the new crypto retail crypto meta. Just kind of how I'm seeing some stuff. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. But I wanted to kind of get on here and share that. Listen, I've been massive, heads down, blinders on in a course. It's a 30-hour course, and yeah. And I've been um, kind of retracing my steps. Go through some minutes, some hours, and I go back over those. And so I've done that 3 times. Uh, so, 3 hours of the first 2 hours, 3 times of the first 2 hours of this course. Yeah. So that's kind of how I study. So, in any case, that's why we haven't been able to get on here and do some stuff. So it's great to see you guys for sure. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. Interesting time for sure. Um, but I came across this idea and I started doing a little bit of homework on it because of my guy, um, Virtual Bacon. And I was going through the video and thinking to myself, isn't that interesting? A new retail crypto play. Yeah. So, I did a little bit more homework on it, and got to do your due diligence. It's easy to do your due diligence and do your own homework nowadays. I mean, come on. With AI, you can do a lot of your homework, your own homework, your own due diligence, right? Put together a thesis, see if it makes sense or doesn't make sense. Check it out, do your homework. Yeah, it's an exciting time, right? Exciting time. So, me and ChatGPT, got into some stuff and I wanted to share some things with you guys. So look, maybe this is a diversification play. I don't know. I think it is. It's still, for me, it's still crypto, but it's a different kind of crypto. And we're going to get into some things because I think people are missing it. I really do think people are missing it. We're so used to in crypto trying to evaluate the coin, right? We're so into the coin and the coin and the coin and the coin and evaluating the coin. But what really needs to be done is evaluating the process. What process? The process of making money, the process of becoming a sophisticated investor. That's what we really need to study and learn, in my opinion. What's the process? So listen, we're going to go over the market. I hear Bitcoin hit 110K, Mark L. That's what I heard. Fiend is in the building. What's going on, Fiend? How are you? I love it when you check in, bro. Appreciate you being here. Look, interesting times for sure. But yeah, it's about the process. And so we're going to get into some stuff there. I'll share some of my back and forth with ChatGPT with you guys as well. Look, not financial advice. I shared this with the Patreon a couple of days ago. I'm sharing it with you guys. It's just my thoughts out loud. It's certainly not financial advice. I took a position about a week ago um, in one of these particular treasury strategies that I'll share with you guys later. And again, it's a leveraged bet in a lot of ways. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited about doing it. I just have this deal, just kind of have this deal, this saying, and I believe this is what it's about. Ultimately, is right. My mentor taught me this when I was like 19. He said, CJ, find out where everyone else is going and get there first. Find out where everyone else is going and get there first. Remember when in the Bitcoin treasury space, it was MicroStrategy? Do you remember that? Do you remember when it was just MicroStrategy? And now there's 71 different corporates, 71 and counting, doing this strategy. Did you know the Solana has 2 or 3 companies doing this strategy with Solana? And now XRP has two, I believe, if not 3, doing this strategy, right? I heard someone comment, and it's interesting. I heard someone comment, a good friend of the channel said, I don't know if I'm going to be investing in the company. Well, who is this company? What is this company? Remember when they were saying that about MicroStrategy? Who is the? It's a historical and factual fact that MicroStrategy was on its last leg. It was on fumes. They wouldn't have been investing. Investing in the company was not the move. Investing in the company Hydro was not the move. That's not what people were doing. What were people doing? What were people doing? Right? They were like, making money is about the flows of money. It's about the flow of the money. In other words, find out where everyone else is going and get there first. How do you think the people that understood the process and understood money flows and got in on MSTR, and from its inception, how do you think they're doing right now? And let me ask you something. Does the price of MicroStrategy today have anything to do with what MicroStrategy does as a company? And this video is not about MicroStrategy, by the way. This is about XRP. But does the price of MSTR have anything to do with the company strategy and what the company does? They still do that thing. They still do the thing that they started, that they were on the last leg on the ventilator machine. They still do that. It wasn't about that. That's not what people were investing in. That's not what they're investing in. Someone figured out that money was going to flow into that product. Money was going to flow in that product. So a lot of companies and a lot of places out there, a lot of institutions can't hold that Bitcoin. They can't hold it. Now, we could come up with all the reasons why his strategy worked. Or we could say, what if that works? Will a lot of money flow into that? That was the bet. That was the bet. And the reason why I picked up is, come to find out, it's a bunch of people who want access to Bitcoin can't get it. Then this dude came up with some genius ways to leverage it. And it got popular and popular and popular and more and popular. And he, executed on that strategy, and boom. That's why we got 2 or 3 Solanas doing the same strategy. And that is why we have 2 or 3 companies, corporates doing the same strategy for XRP. Question: do you think the people that wanted exposure to Bitcoin, that couldn't get exposure to Bitcoin, who can't have exposure to XRP, is going to want exposure to XRP by way of the strategy? What do you think? The playbook's out there. That's why the companies are copying it. So it's not about Webull. or Vivo Power. It's not, in my humble opinion, it's not about that. It's not about them. It's about that strategy. It's about, do you think money is going to flow into that? Those, they still got execution. We still got execution, still high risk. They haven't executed yet. They haven't executed yet. That's where risk reward comes into, right? Some people are going to think, oh my God, I'm going to sell all my XRP and get this Vivo Power thing because they saw MicroStrategy outperforming Bitcoin year after year, month after month, and year after year, outperforming Bitcoin, right? What's going on today is the Solana, the DFDV, and the MicroStrategy, right? Those things are outperforming the underlying asset. Look historic at the last 12 months. Now, does that mean that you sell the asset that they're basing everything off of to go 100% of that to go into? No, man, that's not that's not the play. That's not the play. But what about exposure? What about some measure of exposure to that 1%, 2%, 5%, 10%, 15% overall portfolio? How about that exposure? It's historically year to date, those products are outperforming the underlying asset. They're outperforming the asset. All right. So look, I'm going to go over the market real quick. Then I'm going to go over some stuff here. What's going on, Pookie Pookie? How are you, my friend? Appreciate you checking in. Hydros TradFi is watching 100%. Look, again, Pookie Pookie, like my mentor sort said and says, find out where everyone else is going and get there first. What about all these other, I just want you to think about something for a second. All these other ecosystems that watch Bitcoin and the Bitcoin holders win. Are they paying attention or no? I don't know. What do you think? Right? Not just TradFi. I don't know. What do you think? Talking about the large caps. There's only a number of them. It's not a lot of them. Bitcoin is going to have its thing, and TradFi is going to have a reason for Bitcoin. Solana is going to have its thing and its narrative, and people are going to take advantage of those Solana treasury strategies. XRP has its own narrative. I would argue that is bigger than both of them. Certainly Solana, the narrative. And for me, especially when you throw in what happened with Vivo Power and the Prince and all that other kind of stuff, they still have to execute. So it's you understand the risk there, right? They haven't raised the money. I mean, they got the 100 million. They still got to execute on. I'm talking about Vivo Power. Still got to execute, right? It's not like it's a given. Oh, yep, I'm just gonna make money. Yep, this thing is just no. They still have to execute. But what I'm suggesting to you that is that Vivo Power went from 30 cents to over $10. Currently trading over $6. Let's take a, I mean, let me go find MicroStrategy here real quick just to see what it's trading at today. I have no idea. Again, please don't go buy any of these things we're going to talk about tonight. Please don't do it. It's risky. Let's take a look here real quick together. $391. I know this thing was over $400 at one time. 52-week high, $542. Again, Did this have something to do with the company MicroStrategy and what they do? I think they call themselves Strategy now. $542. And it got down to as low as $102. 542. Again, don't go buy any of this stuff that I'm talking about. I'm hoping to help you think about the vision of what's possible, allocated capital properly, right? Do we want to be going out here and selling all our XRP for Weeble? Heck to the no. I feel like this is a little bit of a diversification play as well, kinda, sorta, because the underlying asset is this is a crypto play, and the corporates have recognized the strategy is awesome for them. It's awesome for them, for sure. It gives TradFi exposure, an element of exposure that they would definitely like to have. And I think I froze. They have let me find this other stuff here for you. Right? They have a measure of exposure that they would like to have, that they are comfortable with. That's a product, a traditional product that with these convertible notes and the shares that they are comfortable with, that they are familiar with. Right? Let me show you these gains, versus the product MSTR versus Bitcoin. Find that for you. Let's see. I was telling them, like, man, okay, that's not it. I got this Coinbase stock. I'm like, I'm up 180%. I'm like, I mean, it's Coinbase, and yes, and the XRP one I'm looking into is leveraged. It's a leveraged play, obviously, for all of them. It ain't Coinbase, right? It's risky, right? Let me share, right? MSR, here's the numbers, the 6 to 12 month window, MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin. $320, the $2 MSTR versus $29. Absolute return, 563%, 29,000, to 262%. MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin. Outperformed the coin 2.1x. Outperformed the underlying asset by 2.1x. DFDV, which is the Solana one, CAN $3.66, CAN 1940 versus $20 to $62. Absolute return 439% for the DFDV, 210% for Solana, the asset. Last 12 months, it's 2.1x. 2.1x. VBPR, which is Vivo Power XRP versus XRP, 72 cents to $3.80, 0.66 cents to $2.28 for XRP. It is 428% versus 245%, 1.7x. Each of those three cases, that particular product, you could say stock, outperformed its underlying asset. And I just did 6 to 12 month window, because I saw VVPR when you looked at the chart earlier today, it was 30 cents to, I believe, over $10. Why the stocks can outrun the coins the mechanism has embedded leverage. Each new equity slant convertible note raises fiat that is 100% swapped into the coin. Embedded leverage, EPS and book value become a leveraged bet. NAV premium reflexivity. When the coin jumps, the stock trades above its net asset value. That premium lets the company raise more cash above the book, buy even more coins, and cycle again. It's MicroStrategy's coined the playbook. So I asked myself, I was looking at this earlier today when I decided to sell my coin stock. What is XRP going to be doing in the coming months? What's XRP going to be doing in the coming months? I say $12 to $26. Maybe it's $6 to $8. I don't know where it ends up. I say 12 to 26. eGrad Crypto, I believe, had $27. And I just continue to ask myself, you got ETFs, what, 5, 6 companies following these ETFs? You already got the CME futures. One of them is going to get approved. According to Polymarket, there's a 98% of one of those ETFs getting approved. Bitwise 21 shares. I don't know. Grayscale changing their thing to the ETF. I don't know. Changing their what they got a fund and changing it to an ETF. You got 2 companies now, Vivo Power and Webull, 2 separate companies doing the corporate strategy. You got CME futures out there already. I don't know, Alex G, but I think there's just a budge. I think there's just a buzz is going to happen around I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's a hunch. This is why it's a 1 to 5%, 5 to 15% allocation. I just got a hunch that um, the whole Saudi prince thing and the 100 million, Ripple's significant ties to the UAE, is going to amplify things. Look, I don't know which one's going to win between Weibo and Vivo Power. I don't know. I don't know this Adam Trademan dude enough to say, yeah, I watched the video. He's the chair board now, this company. I mean, I don't know. But what I think is personally, I right? Find out where the money is flowing to or is going to flow to. That's what I think. There's a lot of Bitcoin holders, a lot, who own also the MSTR. They also own the MSTY as well. I'm not sure this is a bigger, more passionate ecosystem than XRP holders. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But in a risk reward basis, if you take an asymmetric bet, in my opinion, this is what I was saying to myself. Current price, $6.80 roughly for VVPR. This is me personally. Is that currently more likely to go 35 to 40% down or go 100% to 200% up? New SEC chair in the building, talking about the promise and of custodying one's own assets from the arguably the most powerful regulator in the world, talking DeFi and custodying one's own assets. You think about the rules allowing the banks to custody. They got this. They changed the rules around being able to uh, mark these assets as wins if you hold that asset when it's winning as well. I don't know. What do you think the TradFi interest is in XRP. I think it's massive. And if you can give them this kind of corporate thing that they're used to, and they know how to use, and they understand the NAV premium and all, they understand the convertible notes and the shares and whether you dilute those shares, they understand all that. Here's what they don't understand: the Zaman wallet, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? The ledgers, right? Oh, this corporate thing. I mean, they seen the playbook happen. They seen it happen with Michael Strategy. They're seeing it happen now with these two Solana companies. They understand it. Like it's their language. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is, um, yeah, I didn't get into coin until it was right around $90, and I was just bored one day. I'm like, let's just buy some coin. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know. You know, but in a portfolio managed risk strategy, I think of, hmm, at this current moment, what is most likely to happen? 35%, you know, $6 to whatever, $4, or $6.80 to $15, or $13. It's most likely to happen. Just kind of given all the things. I don't know. XRP 5 with Flare Networks uphold, and getting involved in the staking. Um, the XRPL and tokenization, and what TradFi is going to also be able to do with this asset. I don't know. You guys gonna have to make the decision for yourself, but I think it first starts with that concept of, where is the money flowing, or where is the money going to be flowing to? And what is the asset XRP going to do? Is it going to have some kind of run? Because by the way, the MSTRs of the world, if Bitcoin 2x's, the MSTR is 4.5 to 5xing. So what is XRP going? You saw it 2.1, right? So what do you think XRP is going to do from current prices? Do you think it's going to 2x? Do you think it's going to 3x? I don't know. Is Webull the better play? I don't know. I don't know. I do know for me personally, um, laddering out of coin and taking that 100 and it was about 180% profit is worth the risk and a potential. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. All I know is in about 90 days, just say from February until now, it's gone from 30 cents to, I think it was over $10. I'm just saying, not financial advice. Don't go buy Vivo Power because I said anything. Um, the chairman, who knows what they're going to do? They can say whatever. For me, it's not, it's about, obviously, there's a measure of execution, which is why the allocation still has to be small. Money's going to flow, though. Rick Cisneros, money's going to flow. Rick Cisneros says, CJ, this is just the beginning of corporate strategies for XRP. Right. MicroStrategy was one. Now there's over 70. Right. I, do you think the same thing's going to happen for Solana and XRP? I think so. Corporate strategies for XRP is a strategic reserve. Many countries will adopt this method in the future. I hope you're right, bro. Hugo speaks today at the XRP Flare TX Apex 2025. I think he's going to announce something big, but we will see. I hope so. I hope so. We'll see. I'm sure they're going to put the word out when they can. So that's just me again. It's just me thinking out loud. Let me see if I can share some other stuff for you guys. And I think this is going to continue to, like Rick Cisneros is saying, I think it's going to be another company after another company after another company. And don't get it twisted, acting like micro strategy, now called strategy, was not on his last legs. Don't get it like don't try to say like it was some successful thing, and so it was just comfortable and easy to invest in, what they were looking to do. No, it was on his last leg, man. It was on fumes. No different than any kind of start. No different than this. What is Vivo Power? What is Webull? It ain't about that company. It's about that strategy. That strategy works. It's working. And if you know how to play the NAV game, if you know how to play that, you understand how it works, you know when they exit, right? You know when they exit, take your wins, wait for the market, you got to know when to exit. You got to know when to, to get it, when to get out of it. Lynn Alden shared her strategy. It's out there for MSTR. It's out. It's available. Just got to know a strategy. But for me, I look at the current price, 6,008. Let me check it out real quick. I showed you MicroStrategy at all-time high was $542, currently trading at $391. It's very, very interesting. Let me look at VBPR. I guess we could, I don't know about Webull or not, but let's look at VB. 665, so it's down. Even better. All right. Do they have 8,088 cents? Let me share. No, let me do, oh yeah, let me do it that way. Let me share with you guys. Take a look. It's 1 day, 5 day, 6 month. Look, try to find February. 90 cents, 97 cents, 89 cents. February 2025, 89 cents, 80 cents, 75, 74, 75, 69, 67, 65 cents. February. Right. And we know certain people who got briefings about what they were looking to do. Yeah, right. But most of them already owned it, right? Most of them already owned it, right? For being employees there and all other kind of stuff, right? We get it. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It says in the past 6 months, this is up 549% in the past 6 months. Is XRP up 450% in the last 6 months? Right? We want the overall portfolio, not just one asset performing. We want an overall portfolio of assets that are outperforming. That's what that outperforming what? Outperforming Bitcoin. Why outperforming Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is outperforming everything else. That's why. So we want a portfolio of assets that are outperforming Bitcoin. 449%. I'm just saying, just thinking out loud. Please don't go buy this because I'm talking about it. But I was thinking out loud to myself. So current price, $6.65. Interesting. All-time high, or at least a 52-week high, was $8.88. I don't know when that was. All-time, it says 52-week high, $8.88. You know what I'm saying, Rick Cisneros? Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button on. That'd be super, super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. I appreciate you guys being here. I just think that this is a new retail crypto play. And I believe it to be a crypto play. Because if you understand the strategy, if you've done your homework on the strategy, it ain't about the company. You know, and it's not about a gaming company like Joe Lubin has just recently become chairman of. Okay, so they can do their Ethereum, MicroStrategy's Ethereum play. Okay, yeah, just heard about that a couple of days ago. For me, I want to have a play in the asset that I believe in, right? So awesome Ethereum, awesome. Maybe for diversification, maybe do a little SBET myself, maybe. But for me, I want to support the thing that's supporting us. And for me, that's probably going to be, I already took a small share last week, but for me, that's probably going to be Vivo Power. I haven't looked into Webull. Um, uh, but yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I don't know about this Adam Trademan guy. I don't know if he's the same dude. I don't know. It's kind of hard to mess a strategy up though, and he's got a some other dude there as well. It's like um, it's not hard. It's not a hard thing, and everyone else is learning and have learned from macro strategy. That's another thing as well, right? They're not the first ones out the door executing the strategy, right? They get to learn from other people's mistakes. They get to learn from Michael Saylor's mistakes and the Solana people's mistakes, the other 70 companies, right? I think that's important. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of how I'm kind of seeing things. Let me see what else I wanted to share with you guys. Just some food for thought, just thinking out loud. Optionality on the future. All right, let me share this. So let me continue here. Why the stocks can outrun the coins. NAV premium reflexivity. When a coin jumps, the stock trades above its net asset value. That premium lets the company raise more cash above book, buy even more coins, and cycle again. You understand? Optionality on future funding. Investors price in the right to issue more converts at the market shares, i.e., a perpetual call options on the coin. Scarce float, story, stock dynamics. Treasury plays often have tiny retail floats. A moderate inflow of capital squeezes share price harder than the multi-billion-dollar spot market can squeeze the coin itself. And ancillary yield, staking yield with Solana, and soon XRP, lightning revenue for Bitcoin, or validated fees accrued to equity, boosting the perceived return on investment above the raw coin beta. Yeah. And so I bet you that let me take a look at SBET here real quick. See if it's done anything. See if it's actually listed. I don't know what it is. It was kind of, it's called SharpLink Gaming. This is $33.98. Let's take a look at it. 6 months. Okay, that's the 6 month. 212% in the last 6 months, $33. Man, it shot up in one day. It shot up from $6 to $33. Right. And of course, it dumped a little bit on the retrace. So it shot all the way up to what price? And it's now at 20. It says it's at $33. Why is it that's doing that? But anyway, do this one day. It's $32, $33.98, the current price. Interesting. 33. Now that's not Vivo Power, but this is he became chairman and they decided this gaming company, right? And they got the 415 million thing. Consensus led that round. So it's interesting. $33.98. That's not $459. And that's not $6 so it's not MicroStrategy price. It's not Vivo Power's current price. And they're going to leverage the staking for the ETH and they're going to leverage all the things that they can do with ETH. So that's interesting. But anyway, I just want to share it with you guys. I mean, look at that 6-month chart. I mean, again, right? They're leveraging this new financial system and the underlying asset. That's what they've got. That's MicroStrategy. That's the Solana guys. That's the Vivo Power, the XRP guys, and the Ethereum guys. They're leveraging the new financial system and they're taking a bet on the new financial system, and they're just doing the little TradFi maneuvers around it. It's completely legal. And they're going to have to navigate the risk, just like most TradFi risk. But if you understand that little game that they're playing over there, and you understand that the real asset is always going to be the real asset, it's going to be XRP, it's going to be Solana, it's going to be Bitcoin. If you understand that, then for me, I think portfolio risk management here, right? Take for me 5, 10, 15% for me, CryptoCeej home. High risk, high reward. Take 5, 10%. See if I can get 10, 20x. Awesome. Take my XRP gains, right? So dirty, nasty fiat, not X for me, dirty, nasty fiat or stocks that's already in the traditional system. For me, into Vivo Power, not my XRP. That's just me. It's just me. Right, we're up. Our average cost entry, right, 20 something cents. I get it. So for me, not XRP. That's just me. And take a percentage and of some dirty, nasty fiat that I would be allocating into the market to invest anyway, whether that be in crypto or DeFi or something. And yeah, take that bet. That's just me. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm thinking. And it feels a little circular. It feels a little flywheel. It feels a little, I hold the asset XRP and I want the companies that are going to be having XRP as a treasury reserve, I want it to win. Right? I want that to win. That's what I'm thinking. And if you stick to that premise of find out where everyone else is going and get there first, it just makes sense for me. Makes sense for me. What say you? What do you guys think? What's going on, Alex Yeet? Appreciate you checking in. Be safe on those roads, brother. This is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Let me see what else I had to share with you guys. That's just my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me do this. There was a couple other things that I wanted to share with you guys. Crypto Eddie shared this. Crypto Eddie shared this. Ondu Finance versus the XRP Ledger. Which token has more potential for RWAs? Masari put something out. Put some interesting. Let's take a look at it. Thanks for sharing, Crypto Eddie. I know Ripple X wants to share this news about these paper things, but that's awesome. We'll get into that as well. Let's see if I don't know if Masari is this behind a paywall or not, but we'll see. They're verifying my browser. We'll see. All right, there it is. Comparative report, Ondu Finance versus the XRP Ledger. Which token has more potential for RWAs? Overview, what XRP is, overview of what Ondu Finance is. XRP is a digital native asset. Oh, it's asking me to connect the wallet. I don't want to do that. XRP is a digital asset native to the XRP ledger. We know that. Distinct from typical proof of work or proof of stake models, it uses a consensus mechanism based on Byzantine fault tolerance. XRP's main utility lies in fast, affordable, and reliable global transactions, often appealing to banks and financial institutions seeking efficient settlement systems. Ondu Finance is a decentralized finance protocol focused on making institutional-grade financial products available to all, except U.S. investors. It leads the charge in bringing real-world assets such as tokenized U.S. treasuries on-chain, effectively bridging traditional finance and DeFi. Ondu's finance specialized in tokenized cash equivalents and stables. They still haven't given the value and the use case of the Ondu token yet, which is a little alarming for me, especially since I hold it. Market data. These are the prices. Market cap for XRP, 27 billion. For Ondu is at 1.16 billion. Interesting. Daily volume up to 600 million. Ondu is 145 million plus. Circulating supply, 55 billion. Ondu's circulating supply is 1.44 billion. TVL for XP, not DeFi focused. So it's not applicable, not DeFi focused. That's not a great look, but that is going to change. All right. Ondu Finance, as of May of 2025, TVL is 1.2 billion. Key differences, purposes, and use case, market focus, technology, regulation. All right. Recent developments. That's cool. Ondu, I just want to hear this verdict. Conclusion. XRP and Ondu Finance occupy distinctly important yet complementary positions within the crypto and digital asset markets, according to Masari. XRP excels as a cross-border settlement and payment token, moving further into DeFi and stablecoin territory, now enjoying greater legal clarity and expanding institutional use. Ondu is at the frontier of the RWA wave, enabling seamless compliant interaction with tokenized real-world assets and bridging DeFi with the heart of traditional finance. While XRP utility centers around efficient payments and a growing DeFi integration, Ondu leads the tokenization of mainstream financial assets, making such products widely accessible. Their recent developments reflect growing adoption, increased regulatory acceptance, and momentum towards the merging of TradFi and DeFi. Both are positioned for significant future influence. XRP with deepening payment rails and ETFs, and Ondu with on-chain treasuries and compliant financial products. Well, that's not really one or the other. It's just, okay, well, that's kind of really it. But it's interesting they did a little report there. So, again, I know more about the value of holding XRP than I do the value of holding Ondu, because the people from Ondu really never say what's going to be that use case for the token itself. There's a token there, doesn't really say. It's not a gas token, doesn't really say much there. So there's that to consider. Dig deep into Undo, dig deeper into XRP Ledger. I'm sure that's the stuff that is behind the firewall. And so this is kind of, I don't know, big news, I guess, this Ripple X thing. I will share this from Guggenheim. I don't know. Apex 2025. Digital commercial paper DCP is now live on the XRP Ledger, administered by Guggenheim Treasury Service, one of the largest independent commercial paper platform managers in the world, and powered by Z Economy. Okay. With 280 million in issuance, DCP is the first native digital commercial paper on the XRPL, bringing a fixed income asset secured by U.S. Treasuries and rated Prime 1 by Moody's. Okay. There it is. So, we'll see how this relates, because remember, liquidity and price, they're different kind of drivers. So we'll see. We'll see what this is going to mean ultimately. Looks like Gary Cardone has lost his way. I really, mad respect for this guy and his perspective on Bitcoin, but he is just, I don't understand what's going on right now. He's talking about the native asset of a blockchain. This is what he's saying. This native asset of the XRPL will take any path they need to survive, including coordinating. So he's suggesting that XRP is coordinating with the most oppressive people on planet Earth. XRP is doing that. One of them is pictured below, Miss Cringe, he calls her, who will do whatever is needed to turn Europe into a prison continent. So there's martial law everywhere, and they can scam. What does this have to do with XRP? XRP equals COVID-19, part 2 in finance. That's heavy. If you continue to hold XRP, you are voting on and for European warmongers. That's interesting. Now, I don't know if this is true or not here. I don't know where this came from. Anybody could put this up, unfortunately, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this is the European Central Bank to launch the digital euro on the XRP. I don't know if that's true or not. Crypto Eddie has this to say about it. How in the world did you get to a position of this many followers and have no clue what you were talking about? XRP is not a company. It's a native asset to a decentralized ledger. I usually ignore people like you, but come on, man, level up. I reposted his post and I'm like, great, I think I said, geez, even Gary Cardone has lost his way. I think that's what I posted. And you could see, this is a blast from the past. I used to hang out with that dude. He doesn't respond, right? So I don't, maybe he's putting stuff up just to mess with people. That doesn't really respond. It's certainly not going to respond to Crypto Eddie. And it's a shame. Let me see here that this has happened to Gary. Let's see if my post comes up here. Yeah, I said, geez, even Gary has lost his way. Sad. Yeah, it is. It's really, really sad. It is really, really, really sad. Stop the share. There we go. So what do you guys think? I think that's the play. ChatGPT says, that's a possibility. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button on the way in. That'd be really, really cool. If you didn't get a chance to do so yet, no worries. Just collapse the chat real quick and go smash that like button, then come back and hang out with the CryptoCeej fan. Let me see what more it says here. What that tells us, XRP equity wrappers behave like turbocharged ETFs. All right, so let me share this. I'll share this and I'll wrap it up. Hopefully, there it is. I'm a simple guy. I see $6 and I see SBET at 38. I see MicroStrategy at uh 300 and something dollars, formerly 500 and something at one time. And that's kind of how I see it. What that tells us, equity wrappers believe or behave like turbocharged ETFs. You're buying a leveraged, actively managed balance sheet, not just the spot asset. Reflexivity works both ways. When the coin falls 10%, the leverage equity can drop 20 to 30%. Outperformance is paid for with extra volatility. The market is hungry for simple, regulated proxies. Flows, right? It's about the inflows. Where's the money going? Where is the money flowing into, or where is it going to flow into? Many funds that can't or won't hold spot crypto will buy NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange shares or bond converts. That incremental capital lifts the wrapper faster than the underlying coin's native demand growth. Treasury narrative can front end fundamentals. Small cap names like DFDV and VVPR can rocket on announcements alone, and that's what happened for that and SBET and DFDV, all of them. Just the announcement alone. Before they're actually finished buying coins. Due diligence on real treasury execution is key. Is absolutely key. They still have to execute. The takeaway for an XRP ETF slant treasury era. If a large cap industrial or fintech goes all in on XRP and lists on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, expect a similar magnifier effect. Smaller float than XRP's 108 billion spark market. The price can overshoot intrinsic NAV in both phases, but unwind just as fast in the risk-off periods. Important ding, ding, ding to pay attention to there. Bottom line, treasury stocks have beaten their underlying coins because they're structurally leveraged. Reflexive proxies, great when the chart goes up, risky when it doesn't. Size positions with that extra beta in mind, and I agree there. You got to understand the play for sure. And it's really about, for me, it's about where's that money flowing and all that stuff like that. So we'll see. Guys, I appreciate you hitting that like button. That's awesome of you guys to do that. Rick says, CJ, remember what Brad and David said at the XRP Las Vegas Ripple Labs? Rewiring the financial system is going to merge TradFi and DeFi together, and this is going to be bigger than you can imagine. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep, I do remember that. So look, again, not financial advice. I shared a little bit of guys what I did. I put my order in today to sell so that I can take that. I'm going to take that, strengthen or increase my leverage bet. I already took a position last week, but it's again, if I put a few $100s, right, that's a percentage of my overall investment into crypto. I'm trying to find my brokerage, see if it went through today. It was late minute. It was like 3 hours our time, so Central Time, 3 hours, 3 o'clock Central. So it might not have gone through. Might have been too late. Yep, looks like it didn't fill. I'll have to look at my orders. Look like it didn't fill. So I might have to change it tomorrow, maybe do market or something. We'll see. But yeah, that's it, fam. I just want to share that with you guys. Tell me what you think in the comments in the live chat here as well. Again, could I sell coin and buy micro? Sure. But I could. I could. Is it probably less risky? Probably less risky. It's probably in the 2 to 3x range. Probably 2 to 3x, right? probably in that range. Or, for me, I could take a little asymmetric measured risk on the 10 to 20x. That's just me personally, not financial advice. That's just how I'm looking at it and what I'm thinking about, that type of deal. And the one reason I also like it is I don't think it's a traditional stock play. For me, it's a crypto play because they're going out and they're buying this asset and then they're going out and buying more of the asset. So that's kind of how I see it. Kind of how I see it. Yep. All right, fam. Let me know what you guys think. That's kind of where I'm on that. I haven't heard anything from Flare Networks yet on the XRPL Apex 2025. Hopefully, we'll get some news from someone out there or someone at Flare Networks posting some stuff. That'll be interesting to see because they're the ones, in my opinion, that are making XRP 5 happen and further along and providing value to XRP holders. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. I hope the people over at Link 2 finally figure out a way to be, to get access to the money and made whole and all that other kind of stuff like that. Um, I don't know. When I see restructuring, I think I don't know. I feel we'll see. When I see someone coming in to restructure stuff, and he specializes in that, um, like that tends to lead to Chapter 11. Stuff is frozen, can't withdraw. Those things seem like they tend to lean towards, you know, the Chapter 11. So hopefully that is not the case. So, because it's the same thing they did with Celsius, a quote unquote new board, um, restructuring expert, and it doesn't. Hopefully I'm wrong though. Hopefully I'm wrong because that is a maddening place to be. I don't know what it's going to look like. So, but hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully everyone can get their little SPVs or whatever they're called and get their representation of that asset. So hopefully they'll figure that stuff out. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys checking in. Again, what do you think about XRP's price? I showed you the data. These corporate treasuries are outperforming the underlying asset. You have to know when to take profit. You have to know it's how they work. When there's some bull stuff going on in crypto, those assets outperform the crypto. But what about when there's pullbacks and a bear market? That's a completely different story. And maybe that's a reaccumulation, just like the cryptos. So, all right, fam. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. That'd be really, really cool. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win, but that's okay though, because you and we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.